The internet could be rebuilt on ICP, and most people would never even know it. That's how powerful internet computer is because it's providing infrastructure to put the internet directly on blockchain, which nothing else can do. And people wouldn't even know the same way, like if you go to my website at jerrybanfield.com and you look at my website, you'd have no idea that this is hosted on internet computer. You just know that it's fast, and I know that it's secure, and that it's practically free. I mean, it's so cheap and so scalable compared to any other web hosting that's why I build on it. You have governments like Pakistan and Switzerland that look like they're making serious efforts to explore and test out moving their infrastructure onto ICP. And there's enterprises that and other organizations that, according to Zero to Heroes channel on the Swiss subnet, they are working on getting onto the Swiss subnet. Thus, the average person, though, would have no idea how the back end of any of this works because the average person doesn't know that Amazon hosts a huge portion of the internet. The average person is not familiar with the term Google Cloud and that Google has this massive internet hosting infrastructure. That Google, when they started up their search engine and started to scale it, they were frustrated with trying to use everybody else's infrastructure. So they built their own data centers and their own internet connections and fiber optic so that they could deliver everything faster because the existing infrastructure wasn't fast enough and cost too much for them. So they built their own infrastructure. And Amazon with hosting, they did the same thing, building their own data centers. And Microsoft has their own infrastructure. And all of those infrastructures are very vulnerable to cybercrime. They don't allow you to control your data. And in fact, even Google, Amazon have every incentive to move parts of their infrastructure onto ICP to keep it more secure as well. Now, they may not be the first movers. A lot of the first movers are likely to be people like me, solopreneurs who want the absolute best technology to host my website. And they're likely to be governments that want to leap ahead in the age of AI, that want a sovereign hosting solution where they don't have to build the infrastructure and secure it in their own country, where they can stop having to depend on the US and China. And the beauty is these things could be rebuilt and it quietly moved on to ICP. And the only way you might know about it at first is on the ICP dashboard. And it may just show in little changes like the finalization rate going up to 189 blocks a second. You can already see the thousands of transactions a second ICP does. And that's doing things like when you go to my website that generated a transaction on the ICP blockchain. And as you see the cycle burn rate go up and the canister smart contracts go up and the millions of instructions executed per second, it looks like they made some change here that, made things a lot more efficient. I'm not sure what happened with that, or it could have been Bob. I'm not sure what this big change was. But as you see the numbers on ICP in terms of what the infrastructure itself is doing, you've seen the canister state, consistently go up as terabytes more of data have been added onto the blockchain. Like that's, 3 terabytes that have been added onto the blockchain, and still adoption is relatively small right now. And the network nervous system being able to participate in governance. Like this is really cool that, with our existing internet infrastructure, you can't participate very well in governance. You can own Amazon stock, you can own Google stock, but owning the stock gives you very little say into the details of how they run operations in terms of, what decisions do they make? But the beauty of ICP is this infrastructure, you can actually have a vote and a say in the decisions in the proposals, the updates to the network, the changes like Mission 70, the resize the Swiss subnet. Like you can have a say in what happens on the infrastructure. And that's beautiful. Like that's so much more transparent than what we're seeing. The ICP has offered a gift to the world in an infrastructure. And by infrastructure, I mean what actually gets used behind the scenes. Like when there's fiber optic cables running around the world, that's infrastructure that is facilitating you using the internet. Just like our roads and highways are facilitating you driving places, and travel, our planes and airports are facilitating you flying places. ICP is the only thing in crypto that's building infrastructure that can really make a huge difference to the world by pulling the entire internet stack on blockchain. Now, it doesn't need to pull every single thing on blockchain, and every single use case doesn't make sense for putting it on ICP, that's for sure. If you can just run something on your computer or you don't have sensitive data, then there's no reason that you can't use existing solutions. But what ICP is for right now is for areas where you have sensitive data, where you have a need to keep things secure, where you want to make your business more efficient, like on ICP, where I am hosting my website on here because not only do I want to save money, but I want to increase security and I want to be scalable. If 100,000 people come through my website every day, all I need to do right now to be totally ready for that's to add $20 or so more in cycles, and my website can handle a huge amount of traffic coming through it. And the average person have no idea that this is happening in the back end. This is why ICP may continue to be relatively silent in crypto for a while, because it's not a coin that needs to be noisy. It's building out a new layer of the internet, and that may take time before it gets significantly adopted. But it has built-in demand, and what you notice is infrastructure tends to last a long time. Like things like railroads lasted a really long time before they were replaced, and it took a long time where railroads and roads coexisted. I mean, you still have railroads today, hundreds of years later after they started building them. You still have these old phone systems, decades after they were built. Infrastructure takes time to be built out and to get, all the people that want to use it aware that it's a possibility. And the marketing for DFINITY makes sense. Like imagine if, back when in the days of the railroads, people were probably pretty excited about being able to take a train across the country instead of having to do Oregon Trail. But you couldn't just put an infinite amount of trains all at once on the tracks. It took time to build the tracks, it took time to build the trains, and then you had to organize running all of them on there. You can't just put the whole internet on ICP immediately. You need to kind of rebuild it slowly and steadily. And right now, AI has just unlocked the ability to make it super easy to build directly on Internet Computer Protocol. That's what I do every day in my blog. Like I did this video for this amazing vlog I just did, and I invite you to watch that on the at Jerry Banfield channel. It's a very teary vlog. I'm going through a new romance, and it's really just cracked my heart open. You can tell I'm speaking with a different tone today, and it's very vulnerable, but it's open and it's heartfelt. So this one, I cried out for my queen, and then I met her. I just did that video as a vlog, and then, I use Claude to put the vlog up on my website just immediately, and it's so fast and it's so easy. So AI has made it easier than ever to move onto ICP. And the reason to move is security, is scalability, is cost. Like the infrastructure, the technology itself is so powerful. You don't need to just hold the token and hope the price goes up. In fact, you can buy, there's no need for the average person to ever interact with the token. And the only way you're going to get billions of people using any kind of crypto, initially at least, is when there's a reason to interact with the blockchain without buying the token. In fact, without even seeing the token. And ICP is the only thing in crypto where you can interact with the blockchain. Like on jerrybanfield.com, you're interacting with the blockchain. I mean, it's a one-way, you're just downloading from the blockchain. But when I submit my new blog to the blockchain, then that's a two-way interaction where I've done a update. So there's two kinds of transactions you can do on ICP. And one transaction is a query. That's just asking the blockchain, hey, what's going on? Like, tell me what your state is. So when you go to my website, you're creating a query transaction where the blockchain says, you've asked the blockchain, what does this say? And the blockchain sends you back a message that says, here's what it says. And then when I publish my blog, my new blog post, I then am creating an update transaction on a blockchain. I'm telling the blockchain, update this canister with the new state. And that's something that all these transactions, and some people in other blockchains have refused to even count these transactions because they say, well, that's not the same as sending a coin. That's not the same as swapping one coin for another. Like, these ICP transactions don't even count. And I say that these transactions are an indication that mass adoption, this is how mass adoption happens. When you can query the blockchain directly in a web browser and interact with it and have no idea that you just interacted with a blockchain. And they'd never know. Like, you could be using websites today that are hosted on ICP and you wouldn't even know it. And with cloud engines, that makes the customizability and the ease to spin up your application so much easier. And then you can see the application of this technology and how DFINITY is using it. When you have DFINITY building their own version of Hyperliquid, they can just use AI to spin up their own version of Hyperliquid. And because of the properties of ICP, they can just instantly, like any other product somebody creates in crypto, that they can just basically create the same thing on ICP. And because the infrastructure is all in one platform, it makes it so much easier to build on that. And when developers in crypto discover building on ICP is so much easier than building on anything else because you can just use AI and it's all in one single platform. When you're trying to use AI to build across all these other platforms, it's hard for the AI to bring all this stuff in. There's more points of failure. It's less secure. So what I see is that based on the data I have that I can see, it looks like we're in a position where the internet is going to slowly rebuild on ICP. And at some point, the price is likely to reflect that happening. That means at some point, the lower the price is, the more the price will have to go up just because of people buying ICP to pay to use the network. So the lower the price is, it makes where ICP, unlike most other things in crypto, has a basic price floor to it, where everybody just paying to use the infrastructure has to, and they don't even have to, in many cases, even buy the coin themselves. Like, if they've paid a web development company or a consulting firm to do the heavy lifting for them, the consulting firm will buy the ICP for all their clients and pay all their bills, and the clients could just pay them in dollars. Like, that's how cloud engines are set up. Cloud engines are set up in dollars, and then they burn 20% of the ICP, but you still have to buy 100% of the ICP and then burn 20% of it and pay it back to node providers. So right now, ICP is set up because you can rebuild the internet a little bit at a time. I mean, you can't just throw the whole internet on ICP, but it is set up where it could scale to being, a big part of the future of internet infrastructure, like where a huge amount of the internet was hosted on ICP or through ICP. And you can still have Amazon and Google with their infrastructure underneath it with cloud engines, which is so cool that Amazon and Google still be in a position to get paid for their actual machines. And then the blockchain is a layer that sits on top and secures all that. And then the user has a better experience. And Amazon and Google keep their present positions. And ICP makes it all better for everybody. And the average user has no idea what's even happening. They just know that things seem easier and there's more opportunities for innovation because of that. Right now, innovation is limited because of how difficult it is. But you combine AI with ICP and you can just crank out websites. And that's a big deal. So thank you for watching this video today. If you'd like to talk with me about ICP, and by talk with me, I mostly mean you talk and I'll listen. Instead of me just talking in these videos, you schedule a call with me on jerrybanfield.com. You mostly talk and I mostly listen. And then if you have questions for me, this video was inspired by a call I had, because the more I listen to you, all the better video ideas I get. And this conversation was something I was having on a call. So I'm like, this will be a great video. So thank you for watching. And I'll hope to see you again on the next one. And if you want to keep watching, you want a really emotional experience today, watch this vlog. I was like literally crying during this vlog. It's like the biggest thing happening in my life. And it's opening me up everywhere else. So it's called I Cried Out for My Queen, then I Met Her. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you again soon.